That should be good.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for coming today. So, and thank you to Mark and Codility for the invitation. So I'm going to spend sort of 15, 20 minutes talking about tech talent trends and some of the challenges that we face. I work for a company called Vonage. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. I was asked to pick a topic, so I've gone tech company scaling, less corporate, more authentic. Okay. Now, there is an irony in this, in that you'll see we've got a nice corporate slide deck. Okay, so go with me on this. This is our new branding. I'm not allowed out in public without it. So we're trying to get it out in the world. So bear with me on that. So Vonage. Who on earth are Vonage? Okay. We came from a background of providing free telephone calls over the internet back in the days when that was new. And then about 6, 7 years ago, somebody worked out that actually that's not new anymore and it's a legacy business. It was an $800 million business, so that's not bad. What we've done is transformed ourselves over the last 5, 6 years into a unified communications software house. So we provide APIs, to bring together various types of communication, and we sell to the likes of Uber and Airbnb and Just Eat and so on. So when your Uber is not working, that's not the driving bit, but the app, you can blame us, I'm afraid. But that's what we do. Today, this is our motto. We set ourselves up as the world's most flexible cloud communications platform. Everybody should have a motto. Sorry, mission statement, motto. We're quite big these days. So we are about 2,500 people worldwide, 1.2 billion annual revenue. We've gone from an $800 million B2C business to a 1.2 billion B2B business in 5 years. So it's been a massive transformation. I've been there 8 months, so I take no responsibility or credit for any of this. The blue dots. This is going to go wrong. Can I use that as a pointer? Look, there they are. Blue dots, those are our 8 tech centers around the world. That's my responsibility from a TA perspective. So we're about 650 people worldwide. The good news is we're growing, and we continue to grow. Okay? The challenge is scaling at speed in hugely competitive tech markets. I bored Mark already. So you will see that we're in some interesting places. We're in Tel Aviv, we're in Barcelona, we're in Basingstoke, we're in London, we're in Wrocław, we're in San Francisco, Atlanta, and the lovely place that nobody's ever heard of called Homedale in New Jersey. And those are some of our challenges, and I'll come back to that. Okay. Our API business, which is the core of our growth now, is now growing 45% year on year. Okay, which is great. Fantastic. We're part of a growing business. Whisper it quietly, we make a profit. Okay, I know it's not really supposed to be said around here. But this obviously presents some interesting challenges in terms of staffing up to keep that, and all you lovely people are out there doing the same thing and competing against us for the same people. So if you could just stop it, it would make my life much easier. Okay, we've got an interesting slide here. I apologize for this. We have the delights of using G Suite, and when you download a G Suite into PowerPoint, sometimes it goes a bit strange. So I do apologize. Anyway, so challenges other than challenges of using G Suite. Okay, what do we have? Nobody knows who Vonage is, or those who do know it think it's a residential telephony business. Okay, yeah, you just do phones, don't you, or internet stuff. Okay. We've also done 13 acquisitions in 5 years, including 2 major acquisitions, a company here in the UK called Nexmo and a company called New Voice Media who do call center, contact center communications. So we've got that challenge. Multiple acquisitions, 8 development centers. Guess what? 8 development centers all working in their own way, all hiring in their own way. Normal fun and games. We're either in really competitive locations. Anyone else recruit in San Francisco? Hands up. Yes. Okay. Brand new computer science graduate, starting salary 120,000 US and 10K. Sign on. Ouch. Okay. But then it's $3,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment per month. and you think London's expensive. Or we're in tertiary locations, no disrespect to Basingstoke, but it has its own particular challenges. And Homedale is an hour outside New York. Okay, well, if you're a tech person, you probably want to live in New York because it's fun and it's buzzy and everything else. I inherited a good but relatively immature TA function. Great people. They come from a startup background, lots of them. They are really good, but dealing with some of these issues were new. We set a very high bar to entry, so the wall to get into the company from a tech perspective is very high, and that's our CTO's decision, and that's fine. We provide flexible working. We don't provide remote working. Okay, everyone's going, oh, well, I want to work remotely. No, we don't do that. Oh, okay, and I'll come back to that. And a startup type recruiting mentality. So what does that mean? It means that in a lot of our businesses, the way that they recruited, and I can relate to Belén on this, we face all sorts of, pretty much the same issues that you do. Let's get a candidate in, let's get lots and lots of people to interview that candidate, and as long as nobody says no, we're probably making the right decision. I've just had not quite a stand-up row, but an email row with a DevOps director around the fact that he wants 11 people involved in an interview process, and that might not be best practice. Anyway, so there we are. Okay. Yes, all right.
Blame me for that if there is something to be blamed.
There are 83 slides on this, which is going to be a lot to get through in 20 minutes. Okay, so what are the pluses? Which is what's supposed to be on here. So the pluses are we're a stable, financially solvent company. Okay, we're in a niche market. We are driving our market and where we're going. We have a modern technology stack. We have interesting work that the folks are doing. So once we start talking to people, we've got a great story to tell, and we can get out there and do that. But we have to balance that against the changes. Okay. Hi, come on in. So we have got some positives, and I'll come back to some of those. Set against that is some of the wider trends. Okay, so these are some of the things that we're seeing in the tech market generally, and some of the issues that I've looked at considering while we've been doing this. So, return on investment against salary. Salaries have gone up because we all want the same people. Okay, so we're trying to hire fewer people, given that they're more expensive. Okay, so we set the bar very high. There are some compromises that need to be made on that basis, as in sometimes we can't do all the stuff that we want to do. But this is a business decision. But it does mean that we are very much focusing on retention. So we set the high bar, and we want to get people in, and we really work to hang on to them. Okay. There's a new employment relationship. Okay. This is my opinion and nobody else's. I think there's this fallacy about loyalty to a company. Okay? It's lovely, yeah, join us, and we want real loyalty from our employees. Well, until things go a bit difficult, then we're going to make you redundant. Okay? So actually, let's be realistic, let's be authentic, let's be sensible about what the employment relationship is. Okay? It's about what we can give you, or what we can give our candidates, what we can give our staff in terms of opportunity, development, a nice working environment. We will hang on to them only as long as we meet their core needs. Okay? In return, we get good work from them, we get commitment. Okay? But let's not try and kid ourselves, in my opinion, that we are buying long-term loyalty. I mean, I've got some friends who've worked in the same company for 15 years. It's quite unusual though, okay? So we set good benefits. We have discretionary time off, so we have as much holiday as you want, okay? Which is an interesting one. The employer as a family. So again, there's some arguments about this. There's lots of little startups. My understanding is where it's very much a family atmosphere, and basically they're your best mates and everything else, okay? That's fine, it's right for certain types of individual, but actually, is it right for everyone? Some people just want to come to work, do their work and go home. They're not actually interested in becoming best mates with all the people they work with. It's nice if you can at least tolerate them, okay? Deal with their BO issues and personal hygiene and those sorts of things, but no. The argument of remote against office-based and collaboration. So I alluded to this earlier. We talk a bit about, so we offer remote working. Well, what's remote working? Does that mean you're going to have somebody you're a London-based company and you're going to have somebody based in Manchester and they're going to work 5 days a week at home? Does it mean 1 day a week at home? What does it mean? We've made the decision that we will have people office-based because we want collaboration. It's a very collaborative environment. We want the water cooler conversations. We want people bouncing off each other. We want new people to come in and learn from other people. What we offer is immense flexibility around that. So come in late, go home late. Come in early, go home early. Say work from home of a morning if you've got the plumber coming. Those sorts of things. So trying to get the balance. So obviously these are all trends that we're all thinking about. How do we do it? How do we make ourselves a bit different to others? Pan-generational pan-generational workforce and expectations, okay? We all know, I'm not going to bore about Millennium and Gen X and all that stuff. We all know we're working with a very wide range of people. I've got people working for me who are younger than my children, okay? Which was a bit of a shock when it first happened, but I'm getting over it slowly. And then they look at me and go, just how old are you? But we all have different expectations and we all have value to add, I hope. So I think we just need to think about that rather than going, well, these people like this sort of thing and these people like this sort of thing. No, they don't. We're all different. There are some very old 20-year-olds around, or there's some quite young 60-pluses. Okay? And employer with a purpose. I think this is quite interesting and quite important. I think it's something that's beginning to bubble through. Okay? Why do you do what you do? Okay? Are you simply working? Are you simply going in, doing a job, going home? What value to society is your employer adding? Okay. Now, I'm not going to stand on a pedestal here and go, gosh, Vonage, without us, society would crash. Of course it wouldn't. Do we make life easier for people? Yeah. It's it's relatively easy for us because we're selling something where you can say, look at your Just Eat application. Actually, that works because of what we do. So that's quite nice. But just some of the trends that we're thinking about as we go through. So what? What does that mean? Okay, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see my slides here.
If you have a challenge with that, we've got the original, we can put that straight up.
Okay. Nope, can't see. Hang on.
Can we switch it quickly?
Yeah, we're going to have to.
It's going to take a fantastic memory, which I don't doubt that you've got.
No, it's not that good, but.
There we go. Okay, let's see whether we can do this. I love a bit of pressure.
Yes.
There we go.
I have got USB stick if need be.
That's all right.
That's the Cloud Reach one.
Yes, that's. There we go, just underneath it.
Lovely, that'll do. Yeah, I'll work from that. Thank you.
Hopefully they're on there.
Yes, look at that. Whoa, there we go. Almost still disappeared. But it's better. Those are the positives I was talking to you about. Okay. So what? So what's our approach? So our approach to this was, okay, we're trying to recruit in this market. For me, there are sort of 5 or 6 areas that I've really wanted to look at. Okay, so first of all, define our market. What are we after? What are we trying to go for? Let's not try and go for everything. So look at what is the strategic role of TA in the business? How do we broaden the pool of candidates that we're after? Do we have a clear message? What are the tools and channels, okay? Yep, we all know about that. I'll come to that in a second. Advocacy, and I'll come back to that. Candidate experience, okay? Beat it into you with a baseball bat. We have to look after our candidates. We don't all get it right, and actually we have to deal with volume, and it's hard. But we'll at least, and metrics, because we all love a good metric. So, the strategic role of TA, for me that's really important. If we can get involved in the business planning process with our business leaders, with our HRDs, the HROs, whatever they are, okay? Workforce planning, okay? Otherwise, it's, here you go, we want you to recruit 150 people this year. 2nd of January. Where you go? It's now what? Oh yeah, the 12th of December. Great. Off you go. Well, actually, we've only got 3 recruiters. I need another 3 for next year. How long is it going to take me to hire a recruiter? Yeah, a few weeks. How long will it take them to get up to speed? Another couple of months, 2-3 months. Yeah, we might be able to start working on this properly in about April, May time. Nah, doesn't work that way. So we have to get involved. So I helped work with my CTO back in September in terms of what are his numbers for next year. Now, it's not perfect. They're still playing with the numbers today. But at least we're in a position where we started to look at what we're doing. Strategic location analysis. Where are these people based? Okay, I've talked about recruiting in highly competitive market. Does it make sense to really grow the San Francisco office when it's so expensive, when it's such a competitive market? No. Okay, can we have a sensible grown-up business discussion about, well, maybe we ramp up a bit more in Barcelona or we ramp up a bit more in Poland and do it that way? Okay, so you need, I would argue, to try and influence where you play and how you play. Have that influence. Make your lives easier. Okay. Secondly, how do we broaden the pool? Okay. We all know that it's tight markets, so are we looking at early careers? Okay, our graduate, our apprentice. How do we do that? How do we get the business to think about how many of those they can bring in? Are we looking at the mid-career shifters? Okay, I used to be a doctor and I want to transition into being a Java developer. There are organizations that do this and can help you with that. Return to workers, particularly mums coming back to work. Massive untapped market. Veterans, so ex-services. Challenge your preconceptions, but actually, generally, what are we doing? We're challenging the preconceptions of the business because we know what we should be doing. But that, oh yeah, no, we only hire graduates. Yeah, no, we wouldn't consider apprentices. Well, have you thought about it? Why? Oh, well, our experience is. So we need to think about that. How do we make that pool as big as possible? And D&I, okay? To me, D&I is just about broadening the pool. It's about, we don't care where people come from. Okay? We don't care what their background is or their circumstances. If they can do the job for us, then we want them. Now, inclusion is about, can we create an environment where they will come to us, that they understand that we will support them, that they will feel comfortable and that they feel they can grow their careers there. Is D&I a trend or should it be BAU? I think it should be BAU. I come from agency background like lots of people. I didn't care about my candidates. Okay, in the nicest possible way, their background or anything. If they could do the job for the candidate, for the client, and they were good at what they did, I got a fee. And I think that attitude has stayed with me, for good or for evil. Okay. So broaden your pool, okay? Be fishing in the biggest possible pond. Clear message, okay? My agency background, what are my USPs, unique selling points, okay? How am I selling my business out in the market? The next two are similar, rifle marketing, not shotgun marketing. Don't chase the ball. Anyone got smalls that are smallish children that play football? Yeah, or remember that, okay? You see a bunch of 6-year-olds on a football pitch, they're all 10 of them running around after the ball like this, okay? What do I mean by don't chase the ball? Identify the sorts of person that you're after and go after them. Don't go after the people who are not your sort of person. What do I mean by that? So we compete against Facebook and Amazon and Google and people in terms of the quality of talent we want. But we don't want people who want to go and work there because they're very different companies to us. It's a very different environment. If you want to go and work for Facebook, fabulous, great company, go and do that. But that's not us. We are us. So we're very clear about what makes a Vonage, or the sort of rough shape of a Vonage type offering. And therefore, it's about understanding our employer value proposition and our employer brand. Okay, we have our employer brand, which is be what's next right now. Okay, which is all about, yeah, actually we're looking forward. You can come and do it now. We're helping drive where our industry is going. And you can do that now. Okay, our EVP is about great work, cutting edge transformation, good competence, high caliber peers, growth and progression. And those are then reflected, hopefully, in our 2 pillars of communication. So one is our website, which it's not because it's old and we've just rebranded. And the second is our LinkedIn pages, which is much better, which says who we are, although there's a lot more work. Before you go on and have a look at it and go, actually he's talking rubbish. It's work in progress, okay? We only relaunched the brand at the beginning of October. Tools and channels, use everything. Okay, everything you can. Online agencies, offline agencies, referral programs, job boards, events. We need to do everything. Again, it's broadening the pool. LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, where are you? That'll be tenner later. Trial it, measure it, use it. Okay, we do all of those things. But think about advocacy, because for me, people want to join. If you're going to go and stay in, I don't know, Bristol somewhere for the weekend, and you want a hotel, you go online and you have a look at, and you get 300 hotels in Bristol. How do you choose? Well, you ask your friends, or you go on to TripAdvisor, or you look at reviews. And we live in an age of advocacy. Okay. And for me, there are 4 types of advocates. So first of all, we want our candidates to be our advocates. So we give them a process and a candidate experience that is good enough that even if they don't get the job, when they're in the pub at the weekend going, oh God, I didn't get the job at Vonage, that was close. No, they go to their friend, actually, I didn't get it, but you know what? Jim, this would be really good for you. Great process, professional company, give them a shot. That's brilliant. That's what we want. Okay. Employees, we want the people who have been successful and who are working there to be out there, at the football, in the pub, in the supermarket, at friends' houses, whatever, at the weekends, in the evenings, talking about why they like working at Vonage and why it's a good place to be. Because our challenge is that techies, engineers, developers, they're a skeptical bunch. They've got more stuff from us being thrown at them than they can shake a stick at. Okay, there's just white noise. And they go, oh yeah, yet another corporate pitch about how wonderful it is to work here. What they really listen to, I think, is people who work there, people who've had interaction with it. Okay, we all know, we've talked about Glassdoor, Ranter's Charter. So I want our candidates and our employees out there talking about what we do. Okay, the TA team, yes, us, we do it, but we're a bit more corporate because we're paid to do this stuff. And then, and then the corporate itself, which is the website and so on. Well, yes, you can pay lots of hundreds of thousands to marketing agencies who will make your site look really fancy. Does anyone actually look at it? I don't know. There are some great sites out there. There are some very, very banal, we are corporate company, come and join us type sites. Okay, I'm cynical too. So I would say that the impact of advocacy comes in that order too. Other candidates, employees, the TA team, and then very much the stuff at the bottom. But you need a clear, defined message. Okay, candidate experience, I'm going to finish up now. Candidate experience needs to be good. I've touched on this already. There are lots of people who will talk to you about candidate experience much better than I do. So if anyone's ever applied to our candidate experience, to Vonage, I apologize. It's not been great. It's getting better. And then metrics. Yeah, people analytics, metrics, KPIs, whatever. Lead with data. Let people see what you're doing. And have a great team too, clearly, because that's really important. So that was just a gallop through, some ideas to throw out there. Hopefully some of them are of some interest. That's us, that's what we do, apparently. And I like it because it's got a whizzy logo on it. Proper corporate. Thank you very much.